Hello, fellow internet users. It is your favorite crazy headband wearing maniac living alone in this apartment. I wish. I wish I was alone in this apartment. And I also wish I was crazy. No, I don't. I do not wish that on anybody. And also, crazy is not a term that we should be using. We should be using terms of respect. But that is not the point here today. So, you all may notice that I have a new intro. And so, the old intro, if you go back on YouTube or Substack or wherever you're watching this, you may notice that the old intro was longer and it was just more extended. I wanted to shorten the intro because I felt like people may enjoy it more if the intro is more like shorter and straight to the point so that you can get to the point of the video. I don't want to elongate these videos too long, but I do want to give the presence that this is an actual show that I'm working on and not just like, hopefully not like I'm just too unprofessional sitting here and doing nothing. So I have found this article, this post by webjapan.org. It's not really a post, it's more so like, I don't know. It's like, well, it is kind of like an article. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. It was like a page on this site of webjapan.org that goes into the history of origami, and so I'm going to be narrating it here. After papermaking was introduced to Japan from the Asian continent at the beginning of the 7th century, Japanese people developed a way to make a type of thin, durable paper that became known as washi. At first, it was used for official record keeping and Buddhist religious writings. Buddhism. But washi came to be used in Shinto religious rituals as well, and it became customary to wrap offerings to the gods and many other things in paper. Eventually, people began to focus on particular ways to fold paper when wrapping gifts or offerings, and they developed formal folded ornaments, gire ori, to make the wrapping more attractive. The Japanese language is beautiful, by the way. Hiragana, katakana, kanji, all different forms of Japanese, and of course you have different regions of Japan where people speak different versions of Japanese, or also exclusive languages to regions as well. Do not get it all mixed up. Do not believe that all of Japan is the same place. There are different regions where different people reside, and they each have their own rich cultural history. So what I'm reading here from this website is not all applicable to all of Japan. So never get that mixed up because that is incorrect. Different stuff happens to different people. But during the Muromachi period, Ogasawara and Ise clans established customary manners which brought about various rules of etiquette. And as a result, formal folded ornaments also became a requirement for the proper wrapping. This tradition lives on today. Paper is folded to make traditional ornaments called noshi, which adorn wrapped gifts, and butterfly-shaped folded paper ornaments called ocho and mecho used in wedding ceremonies. So then we get into origami here in the history. Quite apart from any rules of etiquette, people also eventually came to enjoy paper folding for its own sake. This is known as origami. Mass production of paper increased during the Edo period, making it easier for more and more people to enjoy origami. The world's oldest book on origami, published in 1797, is titled Hirin Senbazoru Orikata, How to Fold 1,000 Cranes, which provides detailed instructions for folding paper cranes. Origami began to be taught in various school manual arts and drawing classes, and became increasingly popular. It is now popular all over the world, and many groups of origami fans enthusiastically practice this craft. So, with stuttering included, that was the whole history of origami in Japan. Not the whole, there's still some parts where it does get popular over time, but that was sort of like the ancient history leading up to it, hopefully providing a bit of context over why it has become such a popular tradition for many people. And so, one of the things that it is important to know is that not all paper folding is origami. Origami inclusively involves origami paper. You can make origami-ish designs from other pieces of paper, but it is not officially origami unless you're using origami paper, and of course you're doing it with respect to other traditional practices that have been done to mold origami into what it is. You can't just take it and then just be like, I took this piece of paper and then I folded it into something and then I made origami. No, that's not what origami is. It's not automatically just paper folding. There's much more to it than that, and I highly encourage everybody watching this to go do your research. Do your own individual research. Train and discipline your mind in the ways of origami so that you can be educated, not just in how to make an origami crane or how to make this or that, but how to specialize in this unique art form that has been around for years and years. Go do that to yourself, and then after that, you can become more enriched as a person. So, the reason I'm saying all of this is because I myself have dabbled in paper folding, not necessarily origami. I just took a piece of paper and I folded it to make the bird that appeared in the new intro. This was my horrible attempt at paper folding a bird. Again, not origami, but just generic paper folding into a bird. So clearly I need a lot of work in the experience of paper folding. And I even have a beak somewhere that, yes, this was the beak. And this was the paper bird that I made from just generic craft paper. Again, not attempting to make origami, but making just like my own paper craft that was completely unrelated and did not rely on any other established cultural traditions. So I made this and it doesn't even connect that well. And this could be anything. This could be some kind of fish. It could be some kind of sea anemone creature. I don't even know what that is. But I used it for the intro. And after doing it, I became so interested. I became like inspired by my own failure to make something to look for how other people were doing paper crafts and how they were doing it so extraordinarily, if I can even speak English today, how people were able to do it so well that I decided to explore origami as a craft form and see if I can learn from this cultural tradition, this practice, how I could be better as an artist myself, not just in origami itself, but also in arts and crafts in general. So I want to go to this article that comes to us from boardpanda.com, a very good website. And today we have this article that came from 2023, so 3 years ago, about I have found 7 most breathtaking origami ever made by Gregory Kuta. So Gregory Kuta has gone through and he found all of these amazing origami pieces made by individual artists. And I don't know if these were all coming from different organizations. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was a case-by-case basis of either indie or organization-sponsored artists making these pieces of art. And these are all made from paper, from origami paper. And so it's amazing. So in number 1, we have Samurai by Karol Karfarsky. And I hope that I'm not pronouncing the name incorrectly. If I am, somebody please let me know. So that other people can see that, oh, Kwame is just stupid. He does not know what he's saying. A lot of people mispronounce Kwame Okoro, though. So, it's like, it's like the circle of life. It's like the Lion King. We all have names that just are very difficult to pronounce. So the use of origami to create traditional samurai figure is a testament to the power of this art. Karfarsky's Samurai folded by Karol Karfarsky origami is an inspiring example of what can be done with this art form. So this was all made, this classic samurai model was all made with red paper that was folded into these individual pieces of origami paper, folded up to make this gigantic, not gigantic, but this massive human samurai. I again said a synonym for gigantic. What I meant to say is that I don't know if this is actually life-size. I haven't done enough research into whether it is actually life-size, but it is clear that this was made into the model of a samurai. So regardless of whether it's like this big or like the size of an actual, if it's the size of an actual human, that is, wow. I believe it is probably a bit smaller, but it's still impressive. Pegasus by Satoshi Kamaya. So we have added another one of Satoshi's models. So this blog post, this poster has consistently, frequently posted models by Satoshi the artist. And so this began in the 2000s when Kameo was inspired by a picture book depicting Tokyo's landmarks during the Showa era. From that, he derived his Pegasus design. Those familiar with origami are probably aware that there are a huge number of steps involved in creating this intricate figure. There are over 25 separate steps, amounting to over 100 individual folds required to complete this Pegasus. Sometimes this can mean taking a day, sometimes months, and even years to fold a model to his exact standards or their exact standards. Now, this is incredible. I'm going to keep sounding like a broken record, but seriously, years worth. And some people, they look at art and they say, oh, how can you do that for years? How can you make a painting that could take years? How could you make an origami model that takes years out of your life? And the answer to that is that people have imagination, people have creativity. And when you have a combination of those two combined with this drive and determination and effort, which many basketball fans would term Mamba mentality, then you ultimately come up with this new way of conveying messages and ideas that can be new and unique and innovative and could inspire artists in the future. My chair keeps squeaking. That's not good when you keep moving around like this trying to explain amazing points. But I'm sorry, you. I have so much energy because the outside world is very depressing, and so I came inside wanting to share amazing knowledge with the world. But this is amazing because art is amazing and origami is amazing, and people who say otherwise are people who have no imagination and should never go outside because they will just turn into dust. They will burn into piles of dust and ash and bone and then be blown away by the wind because the world is moving too fast for them, too fast for their brain to comprehend. Oh my god! Ryujin 3.5 by Satoshi Kamaya, the same artist who made the Pegasus. You probably hear this all the time. So take it from a random guy on the internet now. You are a masterpiece magician, okay? You're more impressive than the magicians who can, make flies appear and then, could probably spread illness. What? I don't know. You're more impressive than any magic person who has ever claimed to do magic ever. Maybe. I don't know. I've never actually seen magic happen. I've never seen that. The most I've heard is people who bury themselves underground and people who stuff themselves in tanks full of water, but that's not safe. I wouldn't recommend doing that. This is very cool. This appears to be a giant golden dragon. And so, again, according to the blog post, it measures an impressive 18 inches long. 18! The dragon has 183 individual parts separated by 27 different folding techniques requiring patience and precision to build. It is intricately constructed. Every part is fully fleshed out with a webbed mane and a tapering tail. Even the finer details, including the facial expression, were carefully crafted to display the creature's fearsome nature. So you can only imagine that this probably took a lot of time to make. And again, I don't know where it may be currently displayed. Somebody can let me know. But if you can still see this today, that is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You are seeing what might as well be a real dragon. Might as well. That looks like something that I could find in an Elder Scrolls game. That looks like something that I could see if I had a bomb dream where I was some kind of knight and I had to go rescue a princess from the dragon's lair. I could see that. I could see that out of Lord of the Rings. I could see that out of some other fantasy title that I haven't already stated before in video games or movies. But that is incredible. What the mind can do is amazing. Never put down your imagination because it can lead to so many extraordinary things that everybody out there can admire. And even without the admiration, it's just a testament to your skill and uniqueness as an artist, as an individual, as an innovator and a creator. I don't mean to keep building you up. You are ultimately the person who should build yourself up, but don't give up on your imagination. Keep building on that. And you can take cases like this to inspire you to do that. What do you all like about origami? What do you feel like you could improve in? Just let me know. And I believe it is time for something. A family booking a vacation to space. I believe, wife, children, that there is Disney planets on Mars. Okay, and what they have, they have a roller coaster that will break off and just shoot right into space. Everyone dies, they don't come back down. There's nothing there because there's no gravity on any other planet. Well, there is, but you can't really breathe without a suit. If you come crashing down, that's a terminal velocity. They all just end up burning up. So there's a huge casualty rate. But as long as we avoid the roller coasters, we could go onto the Ferris wheel. It inevitably breaks off as well because it's just space. Maybe we shouldn't plan this vacation. I'm not sure I want to go to Disney Planet. Dad, I want to go to Disney Planet. Shut up! You haven't even succeeded in school. Yo, okay, once you get your grades up, then I will send you to that death-defying roller coaster on Disney and you can stop bothering me. We'll have a good time. That became very dark.